So I am in Hannibal, Missouri. That back there is the Mississippi River. Town of Hannibal is right over here. We are going to be taking a walk up to that. That is a lighthouse dedicated to the memory of Mark Twain. It's basically Mark Twain. Those of you who don't know, Mark Twain wrote novels about life on the Mississippi River. This lighthouse up here is something the town put in, basically as a tourist trap. But I'm trapped. I'm going to walk up to it, and we'll take a look at the town of Hannibal from way the heck up there. So before we walk up there, there's actually a train that just went by. This railroad track here goes all the way through town of Hannibal along the river. Right there is the riverboat dock. Riverboats stop here a couple times a week, I think, and there's one that leaves out of here for dinner cruises and stuff. Stop here a couple times a week, and you can go into downtown Hannibal and go shopping. There's a lot of shopping in downtown Hannibal, and that white building right, let's see if I can find it right there, that white building is Mark Twain's boyhood home. And when Mark Twain was writing Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn and Becky Thatcher and all of those stories, this is the town he was pulling that from to write that story, was the town of Hannibal where he grew up. So at the base of the stairs that lead up to the Lighthouse is a statue of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, two of the main characters from Mark Twain's novel. And then over here is the stairway up. So we're gonna Mark Twain Memorial Lighthouse. So we're gonna start walking here. It's a lot of steps. I'm not gonna have the camera on the entire time. And I intend to get myself a workout here. This is only the first part of the steps. There's a lot more coming up after this. So this this is a war memorial for all the area veterans who have served in the armed forces in various conflicts. But this is where the original bridge over the river went. It extended out from here, and if you look down there, you can see some of left of the supports. It went straight across over there. As the bridge got old and decrepit, they put in a new bridge, and they tore this one down. So this is where the bridge would have been, directly over the river, and that's Illinois over there. And I sound out of breath because I just walked up like 40 steps. But there's a couple hundred more to go until we get up to the lighthouse. Here we go. I'm sure my heart will be thanking me at the end of this for the good workout I've given it. On the other hand, I'm going to be out of breath when I get to the top, guaranteed. So, yep, very much out of breath. I've crawled up all those steps here. That's downtown Hannibal, Main Street right there. And still a bunch of steps to go. This is one of those things that seemed like a good idea at the time. Another set of steps later, downtown Hannibal. Don't mind if I do. And just in case you thought the fun was over, another whole bunch of steps to get to the lighthouse. Woo! So, one last set of steps to go. There's the lighthouse, and there's the river, and there's Hannibal. It's actually easier to see downtown Hannibal now at this time of year when the leaves aren't on the trees yet. This would all be covered with leaves by a few months from now. That's downtown Hannibal. And this guy here, his driveway is right by the lighthouse. I bet in the summer when people are up here pulling their cars up here all the time, this is probably a pretty annoying place to live. Right here, next to a lighthouse. One last set of steps, here we go. Well, I said I was gonna be out of breath, and I am. But I'm here. And whoo, there's the river. And there's Hannibal, downtown Hannibal. Very nice view. And yeah, I need to sit down. Luckily, the town thought of that. Thank you, Miss Kendrick, for the place to sit. Oh, so that's the river. And a second here, when I get my breath back, there's a sign talking about the lighthouse. Essentially, the lighthouse was built as a tourist trap to get people to come up here and spend their money. There's several, actually, let's see here. There's several Mark Twain sites in Hannibal. Let's see, his childhood home is right behind that purple tree. And Becky Thatcher's house is just across the street. The girl who is the inspiration for Becky Thatcher. The office where Mark Twain's dad was, I think he was a lawyer or real estate or something. He had offices right across the street from his house. The guy who was the inspiration for Huckleberry Finn, his house is right over here at the bottom of this hill. And then this is Main Street in downtown Hannibal. And there's the dock for the riverboats. And there's the train tracks that come through. Mark Twain spent most of his childhood here. So here's the... it's not an actual lighthouse, it's just a replica. And it was put here specifically to capitalize on the fact that this was Mark Twain's hometown. There's the other side, there's the other side of the bridge that used to go over the river here. It's now been moved over there. Let's see what this says. Mark Twain Memorial Lighthouse, built in 1935 on his 100th birthday. It's the second lighthouse we built on this site. 1960, the original lighthouse was leveled by a windstorm. Rebuilt in 1963. Let's see here. What's this talking about? Mark Twain Memorial Bridge changed locations. I don't know what that means. But this is where the lighthouse and the bridge that we were on that went across. 244 steps from that Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer statue. So that's how many steps I walked up, 244. Felt like a hell of a lot more than that. There's a little walking path here behind the lighthouse. We'll take a walk up here. So this looks like a walking path. Feels like a walking path. But there's a place to park your car right there. And there is somebody parked there. And so it apparently is also a driving path. I was not aware of that. I've never been back here. I've been up to this lighthouse several times, but I've never been back here, so I don't know what's back here. Guess we're about to find out. This looks like it might be a house. A big house. Must be some rich folk live there. This is probably high enough off of the river that even if the river floods, it's not going to flood this high up. I mean, we're a couple 100 feet up from the river. Yeah, these are just houses, it looks like, up here. And down there, there's the river, and that's the bridge across to Illinois. That's all Illinois over yonder. So, yeah, these are just houses, I guess. And in spite of the fact that this looks like a walking path, it says handicap parking right that way. So it's apparently a driveway that you can drive on. Otherwise, I'm not sure how you'd get your handicapped car back there. But yeah, these are houses. This would be a hell of a real estate, I bet. This looks like it would be some pretty pricey real estate, I bet. Especially like that house there where you're on this side of the road and you're looking out over the river. There's no traffic on the river. So, well, there's a barge right there. But that's it. There's usually, during a regular summer day, there's barges all up and down through here, and sometimes there's barges anchored at various points, or tugboats and that anchored at various points. But we haven't really started the spring summer barge season yet. The river doesn't freeze much over the winter, but it's not real fun to navigate, I bet. All the river boats don't run during the winter, so I imagine a lot of the barge traffic will pick up here the next month or two. But anyway, we're heading back over to the lighthouse. We'll take another quick look there, and then I'm gonna do my 242 steps back down. At least this way I'll have gravity on my side. Okay, here we are back at the lighthouse. The lighthouse itself is 54 feet high, and so it's what, 300 and something feet above the river. But like I said, the river's never gonna, if the river floods up this high, we got a lot more problems than just a lighthouse. There's the river down there. And then let's take one more look at downtown Hannibal. And there's downtown Hannibal. That bridge way over there goes north. No, I'm sorry, that's west, east, south. That bridge goes south, and just over to the right on the other side of that bridge is the home stadium of the Hannibal Rivermen, which has been home to, the Rivermen have been minor league baseball team in various minor leagues throughout the years. I think now they're the Prospect League, which is like an off-season college baseball player league, basically. But yeah, this is downtown Hannibal, boyhood hometown of Mark Twain, famous American author. And I'm about to take my 242 steps down. So there is a barge on the river making its very slow way down the river. It looks like there's just one boat at the back of it pushing it down the river. So there you go. Shipping season has begun. There's a couple more barges anchored back out that way, but only one of them's moving right now. So before I take my 242 steps down, ooh, that is a hawk. I don't think I'm gonna catch him. I don't think I caught him on the camera. No, he just landed over there. Good sized hawk just flew over me. Anyway, before I take my steps, my car is right down there. So before I take my, oh, there went another one. I think that was a hawk. It might have been a vulture or something. That was a pretty big damn bird. Anyway, before I take my 242 steps back down, this has been Hannibal, Missouri, hometown of Mark Twain on the Mississippi River, and we walked ourselves up to the Hannibal Mark Twain Memorial Lighthouse. So anyway, everybody has a good day.